Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is going to be a flip through of a cross stitch book that I received in the mail the other day that I absolutely loved when I started to flip through it and thought to myself, you guys would like to see it as well. It is by Book Riot and it is called Lit Stitch, 25 cross stitch patterns for book lovers. Love the cover. So I bought my copy on Etsy, but I did some looking around and Amazon does have it. So I will be linking the Amazon listing below if you would like to purchase it. So when I started flipping through this book just the other day, and what I loved about it was the thoroughness of it. Meaning, they talk about how much we love books and cross stitch and hobbies. They also tell you what to expect in the book. Cross stitch explained, so they show you materials that you should have, needle, floss, hoop. I mean, they really go through it. And then they give you the basics of cross stitch, which I just thought for someone who was just starting out, they show you the stitches. It's an amazing resource, truly. The grids in here are very, very good. Then they even have prepping your materials. So the fabric, how much floss you should use, all of that kind of stuff. Dealing with mistakes, which I liked because they talk about when a mistake isn't a mistake, getting a stitch or two wrong in an area may not be, the end all to be all. Accidental missing stitches, you can go back and fix that. Then they talk about framing your piece, washing it. I mean, the very first 40 pages are about stitching and finishing and all of that. This has made it, this one sentence in here for me has made this book completely worth it. So here I am reading along. I mean, I have stitched for 40 of my 50 years on this planet right now. And when you think you know everything, trust me, you don't. You do not. So I'm reading Framing in a Frame. And they say, most people frame their cross stitch pieces without the glass. I do. I usually do not put the glass in the front. We actually like to use the glass itself as the backing for the piece. Sir, ma'am, why did I never think of that? Not only does it mean you don't have to find a piece of scrap cardboard to use, instead, you also don't have to find a place to keep or discard the random piece of glass. You can just secure it to the back with double-sided sticky tape. Mine was blown. How did I never think about that? Because I have been stitching much smaller things now, and even with fabric, framing them myself by getting a frame at like Michael's that always has glass in it. Dude, right? Yeah, love that. And then they give you bookmark instructions because there are a few patterns in here that are bookmarks. So now we start to get to the projects. Here are all the projects that are in the book. And we're going to go through each one. Okay. And they give you like a little reading synopsis about each pattern. So I am definitely going to stitch this one, but first books. And I'm going to put it in the library somewhere because I'm thinking I am going to use maybe a variegated sulky to stitch it. Are you kidding? Yeah. It says, whether the question is how to start a normal day or which destination to visit first on vacation, the answer is the same. Everything else sounds nice, but first, books. Yes, it's how I start my day every day, reading. The patterns are in color and they are very nice and big, so that's nice. And they give you suggested colors to stitch it in, but you can do whatever you want. Okay, this one I loved too. We created, now Book Riot is a website too that has book lists. They have a podcast. All things books are on this site. This one says read harder. I love the frame, and I just love the sentiment. So it says, this is the Book Riot motto that launched a movement. We created the Read Harder Challenge in 2015 to help readers get out of their comfort zones and get more out of their reading lives. More diversity, more genres, more adventure, more education, more of all the things that make books so important and powerful. You know all the times you find yourself thinking, I wish I could read more. Read Harder is about that desire. If you're always looking for more books to read, more time to read, more ways to make books part of your everyday, Read Harder is your jam. And if you want to join the challenge, they have a link that you can join. What I've actually started to do, which lets me read more on the go, is whatever book I'm reading, I tend to just bring it with me, because you never know. You never know when you're going to have 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, definitely want to stitch that one too. The next one is this one. Readers do it between the covers, which is so funny. It says, they say that anticipation of pleasure is even better than experiencing the thing you've been anticipating. We don't know if that's always the case, but we're pretty sure there are few things in life more enjoyable than the moment right before you start reading a new book. You open the cover, take in that new book smell, and prepare to dive into a new world. Yes. Okay, the next one this one is so funny. We've always thought that bookworm wasn't an exciting enough term to describe something as rad as being a die-hard book person, but it looks like the term is here to stay. If you can't beat them, you might as well join them with a pair of awesome knuckle tattoos. Yeah, I don't know if I'll stitch that one, but I thought that it was funny. I love how they have just described each pattern. So this one says, do you even read, bro? Everyone calling each other bruh and stuff like that, right? It says, oh, this one has so many applications, whether the only thing you've lifted in recent memory is a hardcover or you like to pick up heavy weights and put them down again while listening to audiobooks. You've got literary muscles to flex. Yes. Okay. This one says readers resist. Books are inherently political and they always have been. Well, should say everyone's got an opinion about them. Literature shapes how we see the world, and the stories that are told or not told are both a cause and an effect of the society we live in. Books can teach us how to be more inclusive, how to make the world bigger and safer for more people, and how to move toward true equality. They are an essential tool of resistance. They light a flame within us and give us a common language. As in the Lulu Dean's book, inspiring me to purchase banned books and have a banned shelf on in my library. Okay, this one is a bookmark, stacks on stacks. And it says, we've all been there. You go to put a book on the shelf and there's no room left, but you don't want to get rid of any books. So what do? You start stacking. I hope I don't get to that point. I will eventually. It's going to take a while. I have a lot of shelves empty right now. Okay, here's one called Book Life. I love the rose. It says, okay, maybe you're not ready to commit to a big I love books tattoo. Either way, let the edgier side of your bookish identity out for a joyride with this classic ink-inspired design. Tell the world your heart belongs to books. Or build a library like me, and that will tell everybody. Okay, here's one. I do like this. There is no enjoyment like reading. I do really like that. It says this one goes out to all the people who ask silly questions like, so what do you do for fun besides reading? But if reading is your main squeeze, you'll get no shade from us. Yeah. Think happy thoughts about your favorite book and channel them into this tribute. I like that one. Because the title of the book, so that's a quote from Jane Austen, and the books are Emma, Little Women, and Moby Dick that are underneath there. Okay, this one I like too. The first rule of being a book lover is don't leave home without something to read. Waiting in line or for an appointment can be annoying, or it can be an opportunity to squeeze in a few more pages. And if you're headed over to a party for the night, well, you know the real meaning of BYOB. Okay, I am definitely going to stitch this as a bookmark. Probably not in these colors. Read a fucking book. Yeah. Like the curse word that features prominently in this design, this phrase has myriad uses. Maybe you've wanted to shout it at the person asking questions they should know the answers to. Maybe you're the only reader in your group of friends, and it would just be so nice if someone else would talk books with you sometime. Maybe, like us, you wish you could turn it into a flashing sign and display it at busy intersections. Or maybe you simply appreciate a well-deployed swear. Yes. You don't have to tell us your reason. Now go make a fucking craft, it says. I love that. I love this too because this reminds me of like varsity letters. It just says books. Sometimes it's best to just get right to the point. Books. They're great. Okay, this one. Inclusivity, diversity. Love the rainbow. Book Riot has always believed that all the fun stuff around books and reading should be just as diverse as books and readers are. All readers deserve to see their stories and experiences reflected back to them on the page, and the great big beautiful world is something to be celebrated. Let your pride, and a capital P, let your pride shine with this whimsical stitching project. I do really love that. Okay, this one says, I have always imagined that paradise will be a kind of library. Okay, that's the quote. There's the design. It says, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Imagine the perfect place, paradise, if you will. It has a lot of books, right? This is one of the most loved quotes about literary life, and for a good reason. Obviously, any paradise worth its name would have a never-ending supply of reading material. Yes. I like this for Christmas. Oh, I love this. It's called Seasons Readings. Look at that. Very cute. Deck your halls with a festive design as you ring in the most wonderful time of the year. Okay. I think this is meant to say, now ISBN is the code, every book has one. And I think this is supposed to say, I've been thinking of you. Am I right? Am I wrong? I was sitting there looking at that thinking, what is that supposed to say? So it says, the only thing better than a good pun is a good bookish pun. You have major heart eyes for books and everybody knows it. Now, if I was a tea drinker, this would be perfect. Read them in steep. I love the books. I love that. C.S. Lewis said, you can never get a cup of tea large enough or a book long enough to suit me. Right? Oh! See, I didn't flip through this whole book. I only flipped through the beginning. Okay, here's a coffee one. Gotta stitch this one too. Look at that. Very simple. 2 colors. T.S. Eliot wrote about measuring life in coffee spoons, and honestly, that sounds like a pretty solid option. Maybe not better than measuring it in books or pages, but high on the list. Because books and coffee are BFFs. Yes, I love that. This one says, treat your shelf. It says, look, we know your TBR list is probably miles long and you don't really need that book you're eyeing, but we're in no position to judge. Go ahead and treat yourself. Bookosaurus is the next one. Since we're already on the record as thinking that bookworm isn't an exciting enough term for diehard readers, let's just go ahead and propose that it be replaced with Bookosaurus instead. What's cooler than a dinosaur? Nothing. I just noticed. Why did I not notice that? His spine is books. Hello. Why did I not see that the first time I looked at that? Wow. This should be my motto. More books, less bullshit. Let's go. It is a truth universally acknowledged that life includes a certain amount of bullshit. Homework, taxes, dishes, laundry, co-workers, neighbors. It's the desire of every reader's heart to spend more time with books and less time with the bullshit, so we figured, why not put it in a cross stitch? Yes, love that. This one I love too. Damn, it feels good to be a reader. Instead of like, damn, it feels good to be a gangster in that song. It says, what do we really need to say about this one? It does feel good to be a reader. If you didn't think so, you wouldn't be here making a cross stitch about how good it feels. We tip our hats to Office Space for inspiring this one. Have you ever seen the movie Office Space? It is one of my favorite movies. It is one, the guy, and I want to say it's Ron Livingston. He works in this office, a typical IT office. He gets hypnotized, and the guy hypnotizing him dies while doing it, so he stays hypnotized. And he stays hypnotized, and it changes his life. It's amazing. Okay, we are almost done. This one says, I read dead people. You like old books and you cannot lie. Celebrate the classics with irreverent style. Okay, we are almost to the end here. Ooh, there's some really, 2 more designs. Read or die. If Bookworms had a biker gang, this would be the logo. The members would stock their sidecars with beloved titles and zip around town, stocking little free libraries and filling community shelves in their favorite coffee shops. Express the hardcore side of your reading personality with this design. And then the final one, which I absolutely love as well. Books, books, books. Wouldn't that not look fantastic on black? Be honest, if you were driving down the highway and saw a sign flashing books, 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 and neon lights, you'd pull over. A full bookshelf calls out to you with a siren song, beckoning you into the bookstore, where you hand over your credit card and your last shreds of willpower. Let your literary love shine bright. And that's it. The book is fantastic. I will link it down below. And I hope you enjoyed the flip through. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.